Hi everyone, it's 7:33 on the clock here. 7 is the Chariot, 33 is the Christ vibration, and the 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself. Before we take our deep breaths, I just want to show you a few pictures from yesterday. They were kind of cool. And then we're going to get right into it. I do have a couple messages as well as a twin flame read and the union read and the twin flame read in front of you. So I'm going to leave the light off because otherwise I don't think you'll be able to see this picture that I'm showing you. So this is the full moon right before the eclipse, and I posted this picture drawn out on my Instagram if you want to check it out. But it shows multiple different pictures. So obviously it looks like an ET, like this is the ET's head and this is their body and this is their hand over here. But it has multiple different pictures in here. And then the next picture of the same creature or image has another picture here. So I don't know if you can see it in this picture, but I drew this out. So not only is this back part one head of a whole ET, but it's also a second person hugging them. Like, so here's an eye of a second person, and they like have a hat on, and this is their hair in the back, and they're literally lying behind them, holding them, like they're holding each other together. So it's two people here, or one alien, or ET rather. And then it also is that same man holding the ET in front of them. This is also not just a face here, but if this black part is his arm, he's literally holding a baby, and you can see the baby's little eyes right here. And this is where is he again? So he's the man back here. I don't know if you can see in the next picture. Each picture, shows a little bit of a different description. But you can literally see like a baby here. This little baby here, like wrapped in his arms here, like in a blanket and stuff. And then this is his face and head back here. So then we have the second picture of him. And this one literally looks like Michael Jackson kissing the ET's face. So you see the profile of Michael Jackson here. And this is right here is his lips kissing the ET's face. How cool is that? And of course, here's the full moon. And then this is, I told you about the little baby feather that I found at my door yesterday after looking for blue feathers. So here's the little baby. This is a tiny little feather. Look how like distressed that poor little feather is. I mean, I'm talking about like a feather that's like, I don't even think it was a half an inch. It's really tiny. And then it was so weird too, right? Because when I was doing some of the research here that comes into the reads today, not only did I find the crops circle picture of the ET I just showed you, so I put that up on my Instagram pic, that shows you the crop circle picture of the ET, and there's a message that went along with that crop circle as well, and that matched the ET that I just showed you. So I just showed you a man holding a baby, and I came across this picture in the stuff that came up today, and there again is the energy of the man like holding a baby, right? Which may just be a scepter or something like that. But it was as soon as I saw it, I was getting the man holding the baby. This picture is from the Freemasonry energies that I was guided to during the reads for today that I'll discuss with you in a minute. But known as the Silver Star of Heaven, and that will come up. All right, so then I had to show you my blue jay that returned this morning, because I haven't seen them all week. I saw like 4 of them last week, and then for a few days I didn't see any birds at all. So here was the blue jay coming back, and here he's looking at me through the window. But it was really funny because, and here he is. There's actually 2 of them. This one's more colorful, so the more male, and the other one doesn't have as much color in them. There was 2 of them there. But with the blue jay, look who else was there. So this is the less colorful one. And then you see over here, it looks like a leaf. Is actually a cardinal, and I'll show you the next picture because you can see him moving. Okay, so you see the cardinal moving, and you see these 2, they're so funny, like playing off of each other. Obviously the blue jay won as far as getting to the seed, but there you can see the cardinal here. He matches the leaves, so you couldn't even tell it was a bird. And here's the blue jay. Yeah, there they are again. So here's the cardinal over here and the blue jay. They were so funny. And I love this picture. He's like got his legs spread wide and he's bent over looking underneath at his parts. How sweet is that picture though? It's so cute. Sorry, it's not the most clear picture, so. But yeah, I love that one. Oh, and look at this one. That's them taking off. It looks like a woman's, it looks like an angel type of energy, but also it looks like a dress, you know, like a dress you'd tie around your neck. But that's the blue jay taking off. That was really cool. Okay, so those are my pictures that I wanted to show you. Let's go ahead and take a couple deep breaths first. And again, bee's been coming up a lot. So this is my bee bowl, but plus the bee, the bumblebee was coming up, but also just 2B. And also Sirius bee was definitely coming up today. So that'll be part of the read as well. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to all of you. I hope you had a wonderful day. And thank you so much for being here with me, guys. All right, so that was our bowl. We're going to roll the die as well. Let's do that first. So for the twin flames, I'll turn the light on too because it's pretty dark, huh? So for the twin flames, for today is 11/20/21. By the way, I didn't sleep at all last night. We have the number 4. It's actually not 4, it's Jupiter. But Jupiter's coming up here with Sagittarius energy and the number 4 because it looks like a 4 of stability, and the Emperor also is coming up with that. So there may be an Emperor who's a Saggy Aries. And then we have the 11, which is all about alignment as well and justice, and that comes up for me as Libra energy. And then we have the Aquarius energy here. So Aquarius, Libra, and Sagittarius and or Aries coming up with Saggy there. And I'm getting the flow. You see how everything matches here, right? With the 11 aligning, and then we have the 2 waves and 2s and pairs. And even this looks like a 2 and a 1. Like it looks like a 4, but it also looks like a 21. And it also looks like a 2 and then a 4. So like 24 as well. So 2, 4, 21, 24, and that's completion on all sides, right? Because we have the 2, 21 is the world, and the 24 is Omega. So there's a lot of completion energies coming through here, and my mic is sticking me. Hold on one second. Yeah, a lot of completion energy and alignment here. Things coming into alignment for completion. There's your message. So the Metatron Read is the first one I'm going to share with you. We have the Metatron Read. We have a message of the day with my Animal Spirit deck and the Little Mermaid Reverie and the Gilded and the Kipper deck. But this is just the Metatron deck message. And I'm going to show you the other message too. And then I'll show you the other 2, the Union Read and the Twin Flame Read in front of you separately when I start those reads, so you have some kind of marker in the video. Here's the other message of the day that I did today. Okay. So first of all, before last night, I hadn't slept well in 2 nights. So the night before last night, I maybe got 4 hours of sleep, and I didn't get a whole lot of sleep the night before that. And then last night, I did not sleep at all. So waking up this morning, I kind of dozed off a little bit. I didn't really get to sleep, but I just noticed myself dozing because it was getting towards morning, and I was like, well, I might as well not even try to go to bed because it's already 5 or 6 a.m. So there may be Come up. Okay. I'm just looking at something. So when I decided not to try to go to sleep anymore because it was almost morning, I dozed off a little bit listening to something, and I awakened to feeling someone touching me down there, you know, which some of us can feel when our twins may be touching themselves or having sex or whatever. But I haven't felt that a whole lot anymore, so it wasn't a great feeling, which made me tear up a little bit. But again, it is what it is. But it's also telling you about the energies that are coming up right now. There's a lot of opening to the connection again. And again, that brings up the wound around the masculine always getting turned on by women wherever he is, and he doesn't really have much recourse in that because there's almost only so much he can do to hide that expression, right? If somebody gets turned on by just seeing someone who's really pretty walking by, and the feminine kind of having to reflect that, what it feels like to have sexual energy come your way that you can't act upon, not in a physical way anyway. And the same thing came through for the feminine's pregnancy, that the masculine then has to reflect what it's like to have to carry a child for 9 months, that type of energy. So it goes both ways. I just wanted to bring that up again since it happened to me personally this morning, and that was at like 6:20 to 6:30 this morning. And then the message of the day, starting with Metatron today. And that's right before that is when I saw that the blue jay had come back today and the cardinal. They were so funny watching them. So with Metatron, not a whole lot from the Metatron message today, but I was, remember, really sleepy. I hadn't slept at all. I did end up sleeping a few hours later this morning, which thank goodness, because I feel a little bit better now after showering and stuff. But at 10:52 this morning is the Metatron cards. And the first underlying energy out was the new dawn, right? It's a new day. Each day is a new day to reset and start again and do exactly what you love to do every day. The energies of colors that came up in this read today were gold, pink, white, and yellow. So again, the gold and white, Christ light, and also yellow and pink, which come up together in that compassion energy. So the first card that came up was the sunrise, which was definitely in sync with what I was experiencing since I'd never slept. And so here I am seeing the sunrise in a fresh new day. And then the chakras card, which matches the Christ card. So this chakra card comes up as the Mary Magdalene card because it's also the Queen of Cups with 38 on it. So sudden love coming in, or your cup of replenishment, giving yourself self-love. Aligning, which is also aligning your chakras at the same time. So whatever that means for you, whether it is sexual energy or something coming in that aligns you with what you love to do, or just being with someone that you love. And then again, the structure of the hips and the wings, and balancing your hips and wings, making sure to do some stretches and exercises to release the stuck energy in there. Rolling your shoulders back with your hands on the top of your shoulders. That really gets your wings in the back. I've been doing that every day. And they were getting me to do some leg stretches this morning. So then the card that came up was the Dragonfire, which reminded me about my gnat friend seeing me as the dragon eye, right? Because I'm so much bigger than he is. But that's the same energy of this Dragonfire card with the sun. Very masculine energy. The solar plexus and the sun. And the birds of happiness also came up here. Meditating, doing some shadow work, and showing yourself self-love by connecting to you, but also connecting to your ancestral line again with inspiration, connecting with them in energetic exchange, again, to show gratitude both ways for the bird signs and synchronicities that you're getting, because they may be coming from some of your ancestors. And my grandmother was a bird watcher, so the birds are very symbolic of my grandmother. Birds, and I was also birds going way, way back for our ancestry here. The key in the Knight of Swords, message of codependency and working with the shadow regarding the roots that are locked together. Compassion at sunset, so as opposed to sunrise, give yourself compassion at sunset, which is now, as the sun's going down. What time is it? It's gone down here already. So again, but just showing yourself more compassion as the sun goes down, right? Because we don't have that light to empower us anymore. When it's nighttime, it's meant for sleeping and relaxing. So when you're feeling on the edge or sleepy or purging, dream and conquer your fears, one step at a time, with Sandalphon's help coming in here. Again, healing, and allow yourself to pause, to receive healing and come together. Imagine that hand sending you healing support above your head, as well as the magnet that's taking all the parts that shouldn't be in your body and your auric field out of you. Supporting the grounds as it's going into winter here. When it gets cold, but when the ground gets very cold, do something that makes you feel warm. But again, support the grounds and the plants, tweaking your energy as well. The dimensional gateway of 33, which is the Christ invitation, which is the card that matches the chakra energy of the Mary Magdalene card I was telling you about. It's very much the gold and the indigo. The King of Swords was coming up here with the diamond white light and that purity energy, in the evolution of the Page of Cups, which is the innocence of the child within, in the new transition here of flying free in the air energy. So speaking your truth, free speech. Communication, where land meets sea, along with the love heart rose. So the aqua, which is very much about the heart and the mother's love, the golden egg sitting in the aqua fluid, the aqua lung, right? Because your lungs are right there. And then the pollinating bee, to just be in your joy and happiness. Allow the magic to happen. So the first column was all about structure and self-healing. The second column was about fire and ice. When you're too masculine, move towards your feminine hug in the sunset. And put your feet in the icy grass, right, to cool you off. The third section was at 11:11, was all about messages from the birds, your ancestors, Sandalphon or your angels, and Jesus and unity, consciousness. So after that is when I fell asleep for a while, till about 3 o'clock. And then I have your message of the day here at 3:53, which is the Empress and the 53 of the Knight of Swords. And the underlying energy here was the Crow, the Star, the Empress reversed, and the Privileged Lady. The Crow on guard of the collective awakening, galactically, with sudden events, or perhaps Southeast was coming up here, but sudden events, stardom, dreams coming true, and or sudden heal or spontaneous healing at 4:04, which is the Emperor times 2, or the Page of Cups and the Emperor, which they go hand in hand all the time, because the Page of Cups comes up as the very pure innocent child of the Emperor, which is why he becomes successful, because he follows his inner purity of his child, his inner child. I'm really having trouble talking yesterday and today as well. So okay, so the Empress was reversed here, perhaps not feeling well. Like for me, I wasn't sleeping well, but someone might not be feeling well. The Empress reversed can represent a mother who has passed, or a grandmother, an older woman. It can represent someone who's ill or injured, or someone who's lost a child. But it also can be someone who's just in lack mentality and refuses to do things for themselves, or says they can't, and you have to do this for me because I can't, I don't know how. It's that kind of energy, who's kind of clingy to someone else, not empowering themselves. But the Empress not feeling well, and sometimes there's a time for us not to do things for ourselves because we're not feeling well. Exchanging energy with wise, privileged lady, or perhaps hanging out with them. And this can very much be mother and daughter energy, or sisters hanging out, or best friends. The unicorn on guard in the outer realms, facing the opposite direction from the crow. It's like there are two bookends on guard on either end. And then I was getting with the bookends, Patty Duke was coming up, and cousins came up yesterday in my read about the wounds regarding cousins. And here's Patty Duke, which are like twins, two of a kind. With Dear One and the wolf, dazed and confused, alongside the golden egg, or the golden child with a pure voice, or baby's breath, perhaps from an infant or flowers, and the songbird that's so sweet. Or the wolf or dog is watching out for the bird's nest, along with the deer and the unicorn, Dear One. So it's like, it's like Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty in the forest with all the animals, and they're all coming together to help each other out. Or the deer or wolf wanting to see what hatches, while the unicorn looks out, and the dolphin seems very pleased here, and very smiley and social here. At a crossroads but feeling safe, or this is the tarantula or spider at a crossroads, but feeling safe with the dolphin on one side and the crow on the other, because the dolphin's very high vibrational energy naturally, so they clear naturally, and then the crow who's standing guard of the collective awakening. 2 is 1 swans, inspired to crack codes with child who's transitioning, with luck of the Irish, or the high priestess with 3 to 4 wishes, combined with the snake in the garden, or the number 7 of the chariot, the infiltrator, the vehicle of infiltration, and the child transitioning from the Page of Wands inspired to the Ace of Wands with big passion here, or frustrated about the boost that they're getting, or being told to get it, or not feeling well, or doctor and patient, Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde, and or sudden love here, stars, or dreams coming true, or perhaps a spontaneous healing, or child with a growing passion to help others, or perhaps become a doctor, or perhaps make their own decisions about healthcare things, and suddenly went into a dream. So that came up again. I heard the news today, or felt like having a nap all of a sudden, and suddenly memories of a loving message or a hug or remembrance or galactic wars coming up here. The Knight of Cups was upright with the Page of Pentacles reversed, coming in with love, an offer of love or friendship or help, in need of an opportunity or an invitation, or a child who does, and fell on their face, or from grace, or embarrassed themselves, or just lacking faith and walked away from the Page of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed, who may be purging or dumped or overwhelmed, along with the Empress reversed. They're all reversed here except for the Knight of Cups. Or the Knight of Cups with 2 kids, and the Queen of Cups reversed is sweating it out with their mother reversed, or older woman, and only the Knight of Cups here being happy, or in their positive energy. At 4:31 was the Hermit reversed, coming out to help them feel better. Perhaps mother and daughter, or sisters, or things like that here. The mature man, or after the ship sailed with the mature man here, the ship then returned, but there's no water now to anchor into upon return, with the weight of the world and an abundant marriage, or abandoning ship or jumping ship, and then wanting to come back to an abundant marriage, and or the Knight of Cups community with thieves amongst the privileged ladies. So again, this is the energy of leaving a relationship you don't want to be in, but then coming back because you want to live the status, you want to live the money, the stability, or wanting to hang out with them due to their wealth, position, and or status, but there's cheaters amongst them there. And or after a loving mother left them the deed to the house, or the privileged lady being grateful for their loving mother, and the crow to watch out for them, so feeling very blessed that there's somebody left, that somebody cared enough about them to help them out, and also perhaps another friend or relative who feels like the crow watching out for them. The first section here is the dragon and the elephant, very wise, auspicious energies here, with the inner self of the solar plexus and the elephant who's just very auspicious. This is a scam likely call from Aberdeen, Ohio. I have no idea what that was. Okay, so 2 wise ones with the dragon and the elephant, or one and the same person, the dragon with their eye on the romantic pup, wanting the Knight of Wands to take the lead with sudden thoughts of a woman, or an epiphany about them. The elephant exposed to conflict, or the elements, or men, where a teaspoon of sugar makes the medicine go down in the most delightful way, conquering the field, officially on the fool's journey, or now the Knight of Wands, or someone imagining how the Knight of Wands and them could take on the world together. The second section here is the collective awakening with the hummingbird whispering in their ears. Perhaps a high vibe, clearing energy and or messages, the collective on the abundant ship, or ship out of water coming clean, to the Queen of Cups who's been toiling and laboring, and the hummingbird with wise counsel, which can be the dragon and the elephant, for dependents in case of their death, or an estate or family planning here to make sure the children are safe and secure or cared for after they're gone, especially if there's very little ones. All for one and one for all. Our parents coming clean, or parents coming clean to kids about what they want for them or leaving to them in their death, exposing their will, or kids going to legal for the reading of the will, or parents needing to make it official. The third section here is the frog and the lizard facing some direction, but the frog feels left out in the rain with the mountain to climb for the children, soulmate, or fond memories, and feeling imprisoned at the moment, or gifts imprisoning them. The lizard here is unbothered by all this, whereas the frog is, love rain on me kind of energy. The lizard's unbothered by all this, but they're both facing in the same direction. The lizard unbothered with Atlas and their cross to bear, or a religious affiliation, and keeping their money and cards close to their chest, about the Page of Wands inspiration to great fortune. The lizard is looking at the moth and the fire ants, and it feels like the lizard is, they don't worry about stuff because they're not worried. They do what they have to do to make money. It's like they're kind of just looking out for themselves. And then the fourth section here is the moth and the fire ants. And they're both the energy of they just can't help themselves but be drawn to the flame. The moth to the flame and the fire ants to the enflamed. The moth with a partner who's directed by the masses who are out of control and defenseless to the energies, are sucked in by the collective madness, the low vibe masses and or attacks while hermiting changes and coming out. The fire ants, or an ant with a lot of fire, or inflamed, an abundant energetic exchange or back and forth regarding the lie about healthcare issues or bad health, splits and divides, and conflict regarding those issues. At 503, which is the Hierophant and the Empress, which are both Taurus energies. The fifth section here is the turtle, the black egg, which is the throat chakra, and the whale. The slowpoke of the turtle with the truth about them taking the exhausted whale or parent down with their ship. The turtle's in the dark, and the angry man with a choice to make about healing and dreams and or stardom or Aquarius, and the high priestess main female or dreams between them. The truth or activating the throat chakra and judgment of the angry man in a public meeting or a decision about nature and parks or parks and rec and gardens and flowers and plants and home and stability or the emperor's path. The whale with a breakthrough about a lover or family with great affection for the wounded warrior's path, lined with multiple opportunities for transformation, right, to get onto the fool's path. Or home or marriage of Aquarius and Gemini, where their paths may be going in different directions. One's going on the fool's journey, one's going on the wounded warrior's journey. The sixth section here is the hyena, scorpion, the horse, and the cobra. The hyena is, they're like being very shamed, but they're kind of a weasel type of energy, but it is a hyena, not a weasel. The hyena is shamed with their stinger out, or one or two people here, right? So the stinger could be a separate energy, so there could be a hyena and a Scorpio type energy there. So it's either one person or two people out for revenge with Ed and the teacher, or child or kids are shocking their parents, or their tail was just activated, so that would be the root chakra, and Kundalini rising right before the parents' or teacher's eyes at a parent-teacher conference, perhaps. The hyena and the King of Wands, perhaps with rugrats, without courage or annoying them, and leaving messes to clean up in the wealthy man's chef kitchen, or arrogance and self-satisfaction of the wealthy man in transition, or again, status-oriented. The scorpion's sting or injection needing a closer look, grounding and integrating and mastering bacteria or viruses or reactions and making something bigger than it is, with Hierophant, marriage, Taurus, religion and or establishment or the powers that be, and the patient angel of a higher love with a message of concern here. And again, this could be a child choosing to make their own decisions about things and not listening to their parents anymore. Mr. Ed may be they may be needing to get their temperature read or getting their temperature read. So there could be energy of not only the third chakra, the third eye chakra activated perhaps by a temperature where somebody gets a fever from getting something. So Mr. Ed needing or getting temperature read, or visiting a patient with flowers or gifts, or hermit starting over in love, and adjudication of that union and or marriage, or going to court, or getting divorced, or summoned. The Cobra arrives when the student is ready. The Knight of Cups taking a chance, or a gambler in conflict, or in competition with a false person, a false couple, or people with masks on, or the dance in the pursuit of happiness between a woman and a man. At 522, the Hierophant and the 22 of the Fool and the Fool's Journey, taking a leap of faith with an open heart. The seventh section here is the hothead elk, right, who's a great person unless they don't get fed properly. And then they come out really arrogant here. So the hothead elk coming up here with the hardworking carpenter bee, the mouse with anxiety, and the fish out of water. They're all looking in the same direction at the other group we just talked about. They're all watching what's going on or what's going down with this prior group. The elk with wise social group or friends implementing a plan to walk away with nothing as the King of Cups or child who leaves on their own, perhaps a water sign. The bee in the family tree working hard, inspired by unexpected income or unexpected incoming package or person, whatever it is. The mouse is afraid of all of their dreams or nesting. Maybe they're afraid of their dreams coming true here, or losing their dream of having this beautiful nest. With the King of Pentacles reversed and the magic mane male, and afraid they did all of this work for nothing. The fish out of water at school, hospital, or exposing the powers that be with new information and or clarity, or the journey of despair, or the pair, the pup or the pair, or 1 to 3 males, which could be 2 because we're talking about a pair here, left to their own devices, or father and sons at 531. The Hierophant and the competition between fathers and sons, and conflict, competition, games, sports, but it also can be the impossible dream and the pursuit of happiness, which was their original intention and then got out of hand when they were expecting too much for someone to live like them when they're 2 separate people. The last section here is the King of Swords reversed and the King of Wands upright. The King of Swords reversed with concerns of martyrdom, or with an older man or father with these concerns about him. And the King of Wands with a romantic little girl, or granddad's little girl being taken away from him by their son, or a much older man who swept her off her feet, promising to take care of her. Or the King of Wands is irritated with the King of Swords reversed and their decisions around this little girl, which can be the granddaughter. At 531, the Hierophant and the energetic exchange between them. All right, so now we're going back to the Union and the Twin Flame read from yesterday. And so a lot of information came up from the Hopi Indians and the Kachinas, which was very interesting. All right, so this is a quick Union read. So I'm going to show you the pictures of these real quick. We'll get right into it. All right, so this is the Union read. This is 4D, 5D, 60, the Syrian Starseed deck, 4D, 5D, 60, feminine left, masculine right, the bridge between them in the center, incoming divine feminine, outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energies and the closing energies. And then we have the read in front of you on the table, the general twin flame read. The first one, the union, is more about the physical union, coming into union. This is just general energies about all the twins. And you see the lovers there, here, and we have the 2 of Cups between the King and Queen of Cups over here. This is the full read on the table, 7-deck read. And all my decks are listed below in the details. And then this is the message you just heard. Okay, so for the Union read here, 4D, 5D, 60. And the movie I watched last night was Tick, Tick, Boom. And that was about Jonathan Larson, the creator of the play Rent and Tick, Tick, Boom. So, it was interesting because that movie came up as being conceived January 1990, which is when my son was conceived. So the the union read here was done at 10:04, which is 10:4, message received, with the Two of Pentacles and the underlying energy, along with the Knight of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, which is the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower, and the Two of Wands, or Twin Flames, were all below the Two of Pentacles on top, which is, in this deck, it's about releasing the two crystals to the heavens, to all that is, to just letting go. The central energy is the Eight of Pentacles, which is like the masculine sitting outside the feminine's E-Tower, working on how to get in. And then the Indigo is the final card, which is like a very young magician energy here. Beneath the Indigo, or after the Indigo rather, is the Seven of Swords, the energetic exchange of downloads and things like that. The Page of Swords, the message, and then the Reason, which is the Emperor. So surrendering to all that is, working to line the steps to that pointed door, like a church doorway, for the Indigo proposal. The incoming Divine Feminine here is the Page of Cups with the Ten of Wands, which is the Atlas energy, and Luna, but I was just getting lung, like the aqua lung that I just brought up. But this is the moon, and we're coming off of the full moon energies in the eclipse. Bursting at the seams, out of water, making a splash, Atlas leaving the wounded warrior behind at the full moon eclipse. And I was getting the energy of the pearl, because the moon looks very much like a pearl in the images that I got of the eclipse. It literally looks like the pearl coming out of the clam, like it's ready. The pearl's ready. As the waves calm down. The 4D here is the Sun, the Five of Swords, and the Six of Cups. The Divine Feminine, powered up, all exposed, with sunshine, Pegasus, and the Divine Masculine, Six of Cups, of two hearts as one, in that very innocent child energy, hugging. And the bridging of the Five of Swords from Frog to Prince in the Miss of Avalon, or the Atlantean Stone Mountain. 5D here is the Seven of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine spiraling up to where the land meets the sea, and synchronicity. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 3 by 5 equals 240, which is 0 behind 24, which is the omega, and the space between. Being an island to self, or on a deserted isle, too much sea or too much land, or not enough connection. The Divine Masculine with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or the world at large, that can be legacy as well, and Peaches. The Garden of Prayer, bridging with lining the steps with crystals, since the wall is now covered. And that can be the writing on the wall. At 10:26, which is that high vibe energy of the wheel, and the 26 of the Page of Wands, inspired or excited. The 6D here is the Four of Cups, the Shadow, and the Three of Swords. The Divine Feminine looking at the moon, the Divine Masculine searching lights, or searchlights, scouring the sea in a light storm, bridging with the shadow web, and night sky shadow posting. And again, I'm getting the writing on the wall for that, because the wall is now filled up, so they had to put the crystals somewhere else. The outgoing Divine Masculine here is the Eight of Cups, Eight of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. 5 of 8 cups left behind in 40 days and 40 nights in the desert sand after searching for the minnow at sea day and night. The search party ended, leaving them stranded, the circle of trust keeping it tight. The Page of Pentacles curious about their abilities, and the Indigo is offering some kind of proposal here. The Divine Feminine with leaps and bounds up the steps to get to the point of no return at the horizon line. At 10:41, a turn for the better in that high vibration, and the Ace of Cups of self-love, spiritual love, and new love. The Divine Masculine with fond memories, loving children of a wealthy family in separation. And at 11:11, the bridge of the Frog to Prince, working with crystals to detox. The Divine Feminine with Cancer and Leo on their side, and the Page of Cups. The Divine Masculine with Gemini or Virgo on their side, and the Page of Pentacles. Between the masculine and feminine is Capricorn energy here. The overall number was 71, which is the Three of Pentacles, the co-creation card for me. That can be work, school, the gym, the art center, whatever it is for you, the place of co-creation. And the horizontal pillars came out to 9, 25, and 37, which is the Hermit, the Knight of Wands, and the King of Cups. The Hermit motivated by the King of Cups to work together or come together to co-create. And the vertical pillars came out to 2, the High Priestess, 10 of the Wheel, 0, Source or Space, 11 is Justice, 13 is the Death card, 19 is the Sun, and then the double eights and a 0, which is the double eights are the twins dancing side by side, both dancing in their masculine and feminine, with a lot of support by Source and co-creation. So the High Priestess, destined with space for justice and death or ending, in the Sun to expose the crazy eights dance with space now to create. Tick, tick, boom. And that was all about, always running behind and then boom, right? The unexpected. And not taking any day for granted, because you never know when time may be up. So we have the read in front of you, the Twin Flame read with all the general energies. And I cut this one, the Syrian Starseed deck, at 11:45, which is actually the time I was born. And this was last night. So this literally is the time I was born when I cut this read. At 11:57, which is then Justice and the 57 of the Three of Swords, which is the separation energy or disappointment or heartbreak or just heart stress, F crystals was coming up. So somebody could be saying F off or F crystals. And crystals is purging or cry stalls or being Christ-like in that unity consciousness and having more compassion. Or F crystals or F Christ, you may be mad at God and saying F God or crystals, purging, as cliffhangers, like you've had enough. And then at 11:58, ALS came up, which can be ALS and Lou Gehrig's disease, but also comes up as holes, like the hole. And the mulberry bushes came up there at 11:58, which is Justice and the Four of Swords, which is the 5D connection. Also taking a break and meditating. At 12:18, I completed the clarifiers. 12 is the Hanging Man and 18 is the Moon. And the major arcana for this read were the Lovers and the Hanging Man. There were 2 cups, 4 wands, and 3 pentacles. There were no swords at all, not in the main cards. And then the main character for this read is the Queen of Cups. And below the Queen of Cups in the underlying energy, the King of Cups. They were the only 2 court cards in the main part of the read. We had triple 2s and double 7s. So triple 2s is all about the one-on-one, the feminine energy, the mediative energy. It's a very great energy. Whenever I'm on a great trip traveling, the double and triple 2s come up all over the place. We also have 11 too. So 11 of Justice and 77 of the Sovereign, the 9 of Pentacles. And we also have the 10, the Wheel of Fortune, as that high vibration, that trill of destiny and thrill. The 710 of co-creation with a lot of Source backing it up. The 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal, humble servant. The 12 of the Hanging Man, being very wise, seeing new perspectives. And the 27 of the Ace of Wands, that it comes up on the Metatron card as the third flame. The 24 of the Queen of Wands, the space between. The 46 of the children loving each other, and the 6 of Cups. And those are the energies from the numbers today. The code line was all about parenting. And the number 671, if that means anything to anyone, plus 12 plus 10, altogether came up 693, which is the 369 energy. 693. So regarding parenting, the message here was all about the mass, which that came up in the message too, with the fire ants and the mass, being drawn to the inflamed, the entry wound, or the moth to the flame. The mass twins, the twin flames, or the total weight of the world. The 6 of the Lovers and the 7 of the Chariot, or the sieve of the essence of life in toggling up. The mass twins, lovers, co-create. The lovers acing the twin flame relation and the high vibration of parenting. And parenting was broken up into paren and ting. So the mass total weight of the twin flames And the Knight of Pentacles, or loyal servant, acing the lovers and acing the twin flames, high vibration, in order to pair and imagine. And of course, John Lennon always comes up with imagine. And give birth to a Chinese temple with a room with an idol. Oh my God, they are so funny, because that's literally John Lennon talking about Yoko Ono. That's so funny. I mean, I don't know what her Asian background is, but that was them being funny. Okay. So to pair and imagine and give birth to a Chinese temple with a room with an idol in it, giving birth to a living thing, white, sound of, and small bell, like an angel got their wings. Ma TV versus mass twin flames in lover's life essence that elevates, acing the lovers and then the higher twin flames in the key to a high vibrational destiny and parenting. Because you're not only parenting your children, the twins parent each other, you parent your parents, right? So to pair, mate, end up, stay, reside, or think up and or explain, and overall imagining, order in the court, White Lanterns Corp, which comes up as a fictional origin of DC Comics related to emotional spectrum, but when I looked anything up around it, it had a lot of hard rock, which was very negative energy. I couldn't even leave it on. I had to turn it off. So again, feeling into, make sure you know your abilities. Don't go into your head to think about things. What does it feel like? It doesn't feel good. Let it go. And then the ALS comes up not only as Lou Gehrig's disease, and the ALS mean in crystals is like Christ, or like crystals, but it also means cliff, like a cliffhanger, as soon as, or like. And the cliffhanger comment from my messages came up before I did this. So there's definitely cliffhangers coming up here, as well as the Indian mulberry bush, which also has the dye of the mulberry, which is that blue dye. So very much about the indigos, the blue, the blue rays. And we start this read out with the Queen of Cups upright. Okay. So you have the Queen of Cups upright in the bottom energy with the mini cards on top. And below this Queen of Cups is the King of Cups and the Two of Cups between them. Okay. But the King of Cups is reversed. The Queen of Cups is upright. So the King of Cups is reversed. Perhaps he's emotionally detached or unavailable, or perhaps he's depressed or drinks too much. But in partnership with the Queen of Cups, dumping a load or her burdens or all of her responsibilities, or perhaps confessing, she's coming up as feeling weak or sick, or maybe they didn't sleep all night, or not calling back the Ten of Pentacles reversed family, business, or community, or afraid to call, right? That's being afraid to wake up and answer the call to action. The wounded warrior, uncomfortable with the King of Swords reversed over the family, Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community dysfunction or loss. The destined Page of Cups here, imprisoned and trapped, but he's up. The Page of Cups is upright. That could be puppy love too. But imprisoned or trapped with the Hierophant, marriage, religion, establishment, or Taurus. Perhaps lying or divided or split. With the worst now over and the bliss coming in, the Knight of Cups is upright, perhaps who made a bad call or bet on the wrong horse, or got confused and couldn't make a choice with so many options and took a gamble. Legs getting weak, unable to pick up a child, or too old to have another child or a first child, or their time has passed, or they may see them as their time has passed to wake up and smell the coffee, or just don't know which gift to pick, what color metal, or what kind of music. Leo, Aquarius both reversed, but Libra and Taurus are upright here. The Queen of Cups, divine lover, and the 5D connection without tools to manifest or orchestrate. So orchestra is definitely coming up, because then they want to bring up music messages. So, and I already brought up the music message about the hard rock stuff, the headbanging stuff. So at 127, the energy of Gabriel comes in, of course, God's mouth, right? Conducting, Excalibur, lay before them. Mary and Jesus needing to manifest magician embodiment. Pulling the sword from the stone, as we just went through this eclipse, which was pulling the sword out of the moon, right? Taking the soul swapping machine out of there. The 3 lines down and a question mark. Not showing their hand or magic DNA strand. and it's all about the children here. So then Sirius came up, the planet Sirius. I don't know why that came up for me right there, but it did. So I was guided to look up Sirius and Lord Sirius. Oh, I know why. The very first reading I got done back in 2000, I don't know if it was 2015 or 16, was a reader in England who said my strongest connections were to Sirius and Mary Magdalene and Lord Sirius. So I looked up Lord Sirius because back then I would never get much information about what that meant to anyone, but it came right up when I looked it up now. And this was at 1:32 a.m., the Magician and the 32 of the Journey. And when I used to meditate to Christ or Lord Sirius, I would get the exact same energy, and they were all related to my masculine as well, because we're all part of the Jesus Mary Magdalene template as the twin flames. So in the Quran, they call God or Allah the Lord of Sirius, the mighty star, the dog star. So dogs have been coming up a lot too. So, and Sothis. So Sothis equals Egyptian name for Sirius, but it actually comes up as the feminine energy. The Sirius means sparkling or scorching, but also is referenced as star. Shiara, 2 stars, A and B. So that was another name for Sirius, Shiara, Shiaara, which comes up as like Shi'a-Ra. 2 stars, A and B of Sirius. A is the brightest star and closer to the Earth. The orbit is 49.9 years. A double bow-shaped orbit of 2 stars around one another, which is, it was just bringing up the man hugging the child or hugging the ET, right? The human and the ET hugging each other. This is what they're saying about Sirius A and B. They're twins holding each other from totally different planets. That was ID'd around the 20th century. However, miraculously indicated in the Quran 1,400 years ago. So here comes up the 14 from the crops circle picture that I brought up yesterday with the 14 mazes of twins. So it was 7 sets, but 14 mazes altogether that were, facing each other every 2. So when the verses 49 plus 9 were read together, it became apparent to this person assessing this information. It is he who is the Lord of Sirius, Quran 53:49, and then he was 2 bow lengths away or even closer. So that's again referencing the 2 of Sirius A and B from 53:9. He is the originator of the heavens and earth. When he decodes on something, he just says to it, be, as I just said, be was really significant today. And it is. That's from the Quran 2:117. Sirius A and B, the cosmic serpents who produce mana to sustain life. And that was coming up from the mystery of the iniquity. It wasn't saying inequity, it was saying inquity, INQUITY, wordpress.com. Ascended Masters. So something else they went into here was about Sirius, had to do with the Freemasonry. So they consider themselves the Ascended Masters, the Holy Master of God, the 24 Elders of the Throne, and the Lord of Sirius, head of their Great White Lodge. And the Kachinas will come up in a minute, but 3 different Kachinas come up, the red, the white, and the blue. And you have to remember that the Freemasons, there's a very positive end of the Freemasons and a very dark end of the Freemasons. I mean, they originally came up as the Knights Templar, helping out Jesus and Mary Magdalene to cover up the Holy Grail, which, in the movie talks about Mary Magdalene as the Holy Grail, but also Sarah as the child of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and the Cathars, because they were very much supportive of the woman back then. So, Lord of Sirius is the head of our Great White Lodge. And so that's when that picture came up of that image holding a child or holding a staff that matched the energy of the picture that I just got from the full moon the other night. So the Freemasons and their relationship to Sirius. They consider it the silver star of heaven, the most powerful divine star. Sirius represents the dog god of Egypt, Anubis, the most evil star also considered in ancient Egypt. And Sirius B, they both have dark and light energies living on them. So Sirius in every Mason lodge is represented by a 5-pointed star, the blazing star. And Sirius, the Sirius and the 5-point star by the Masonic lodges. The Freemasonry, of course, comes from the Knights Templar, suppressed in England and France, continued in Scotland after that, and then by the 17th century we're back in England again. Freemasons supposed to be Syrians on earth to beam helpful rays to the poor people of ignorance, walking in ignorance, violence, and oppression. And they felt there's 3 main energy waves that come into the earth, that Sirius is one of those waves from the solar system. One of those 3 is from Sirius. The Masonic Christ equals Horus, which is Sirius, the son of Isis and Baal's son. Sirius in the location where Lucifer and his hierarchy dwell, right? So a lot of people consider it being dark energy as well. So then the Hopi Indians came up regarding Sirius. So for the Hopis, the name for the blue star Kachina is Sirius, or the name for Sirius is blue star Kachina, which is funny because, you know, I lived in Arizona for 5 years, and my roommate used to bring home Kachina dolls all the time because she had a friend on the reservation, and they were very hard to get, you know, in stores they're very expensive. So the return of the blue sun, or the Kachina, or the Nanga Sohu, the sign of the new world. It starts as fire. So I was just looking up Lord Sirius. I wasn't looking up twin flames. I wasn't looking up ascension or anything. And this is what came up. The blue sun, Kachina, and the sign of the new world starts as fires within us, which is the dark night of the soul, pushing us to return to the place of peace, of the way, the old ways of being in peace, not necessarily going back to all the old ways, but of being at peace with each other. Not far behind this, the twins will come. The purifier, or the red Kachina, is the red sun, who will bring the day of purification. On this day, all life as we know it will change forever. There will be a message that will precede this coming of the purifier. They will leave a message to those on earth who remember the old ways. And the crop circle picture that I showed you had a message along with it of the ET. So read that message online. I think I have it here. I'll look back at that message for you because I have it written down. I'll give it to you. But again, this is referring to a message that will be left, right, prior to going to heaven on earth. And I just was guided to the message of the ET, who looked just like the ET in my full moon picture, which is one crop circle that had binary code on it that literally led to a message. So I'll read that to you. 1994, a file appeared on the internet from a group of Hopi Indian youth. They were trained by their Hopi elders and human-like aliens, and that can very much be the Pleiadians, code named Blues, star warriors in conflict with the Greys, the children of the serpent, they consider. The Blues were coming up as the child of the feather, were one of several human-like races that warned our government to stay away from the Greys. The reptilians established an underground system below the Four Corners area, which is between Arizona and Colorado, I believe, in the very systems from which the Hopi were driven away from by the reptilian sorcerers in ancient times. The Hopis emerged through a cave in the Grand Canyon, which is so funny because in the rant that I just did, it talks about the masculine finding a way through under the water, through an underwater cave to the divine feminine side. The Hopis emerged through a cave in the Grand Canyon. The underground city of Palatkawapi, below Arizona, in some interaction with Neo-Mayan races of Mount Shasta, who maintain a large city near Prescott and Groon Creek, Arizona. They have also interbred with Nordic Pleiadian Federation. At the end, the sacred ones arrive from another planet said to be from Venus by flying saucers. And they call the pilots of these flying saucers the Kachinas. So we have red ones and blue ones here. And much like the fallen angels, or watchers, from Genesis 6, 1 through 4, the Kachinas, or pilots, were sometimes known to mate with Hopi women. Okay, so that brings them into that human DNA. So a lot of humans, are mixed breeds already with the ETs. So Sirius equated with blue electricity, right? Not lightning, but the actual source of electricity being blue. And the Hopi prophecy speaks of the twin Kachinas of white and blue. When the blue star Kachina makes their appearance in the heavens, the fifth world will then emerge. All right, so over here, prior, I just said, not far behind the dark night of the soul, the twins will come, the purifier, the red Kachina. So there's this is the second wave. So we have the red wave of twins, and now here they're talking about the Blu-ray wave of twins, the really big group, right? The red group was the initial twins. I was just getting that now. I didn't realize. I was trying to figure out what the difference was between the red and blues, but now I get it. So the red wave was the first, the blue is the second, and I'll bet you the white wave is the third wave actually. The blue star made in crystal skull is the indigo children. Okay, so in the Blu-rays, there's a lot of warrior twins. The El Morias, master of the blue ray, and it's considered the golden blue ray, the rod and staff unions, because there's a lot of family involved with the rod and staff unions. Also, Krishna and Dogons, the Nomo gods, are considered part of that blue energy, the aquatic blue water. And the Dogons are an African tribal community. So the Hopi are the blue. The Hopi, when the blue star appears, or the Elenin, or Nibiru, the dwarf star, in the new city that they live in, the new city called Eden. And then there was a comment to this article that the Hopi refer to the binary blue star, Spica, that appears with the moon. This was back in 2012, 12/9/2012, on that Sunday. So there are two stars that would appear together. And again, there's that energy of the matching solar system coming into view for us, right? Because it would take, how many lifetimes, I don't know, for a solar system to come around to touch its twin again. So there's the energy of the matching twin solar system coming into our field of view. And again, here the twin waves of the red wave, the blue wave, and then they talk about the blue and white. The twin Kachinas are considered the blue and white. So it's the masculine and the feminines are considered the blue and whites. The blue star made in crystal skull and the indigo children. So it's like the crystal and the indigo children. Right? So the blue is obviously the indigo and the white is the crystal children. Very cool. So the red ones were the first wave. All right, so then as soon as I finish this article, I'm getting up to turn off the TV, and as soon as I look at the TV, it literally says on the TV, the power of the dog, which is Sirius B. Crazy. Okay, and that was at 2:39 to 40 last night. So back to the read in front of us, the children. So that was coming up around Gabriel and Mary and Jesus needing to manifest a magician embodiment, to pull the sword from the stone, 3 lines down in a question mark, not showing their hand or their magic DNA strand, and it's all about the children here. So again, we have the incoming children as well with the twins, right? Because a lot of the twins, rod and staff, are here to take care of the children that are coming in because they have upgraded DNA and they need protection. So we go back to the children and forgiving and learning. Awake, no longer being inspected inch by inch as a hostage, a romance brought to light. The wounded warrior tells of injustice, of weakness and illness, no longer going to be strong. or no longer to be strong-armed into drinking the water or pulling teeth, not allowing other people to tell you what's best for you. Or Leo reversed and Libra reversed, bond, and those feet, the ones that fit the glass slipper. It's like someone saying, yes, and those feet. So someone must have a foot fetish here. But the ones that find the glass slipper, the dress that's short in the front, and it's like the masculine energy saying no one will ever be like her. We have Pisces and Capricorn reversed, Leo upright and reversed, and Libra reversed. And I was getting, what's it called? Not first love. It isn't my first. I'm trying to think of the name of the movie. It's not First Love, is it? But anyway, I was getting that energy at the end of the movie where she tells her mother, you know, no one will ever love me the way he loves me. And Spirit's connecting with me. Creativity. Nature is underneath creativity of 3. The Empress. Nature is 74, which is that 6 of Pentacles of perfect balance and charity. The King of Swords is reversed, detoxing and coming clean, saving for a new life. With the Magician reversed, without the tools to manifest perhaps, or just feeling stuck, unable to function, but with great treasures at the same time here. With Capricorn reversed and Gemini or Virgo reversed. The 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or the world at large, or a legacy, or treasure chest. The Queen of Cups seeing synchronicities of the Magician reversed as insecure or weak or unable to manifest and be creative. Or with a Leo reversed, or ego, death, or out of control, and the Empress creative, but perhaps coming up here as a bitchy, or silently grieving. The Queen of Wands is very fiery here, with the King of Cups reversed, emotionally unavailable or depressed or drinks. And then going forward after this read is the energy of the soulmates and lovers, with the Page of Wands reversed between the King of Cups reversed and the Queen of Cups upright, with the Queen of Wands is child, the Page of Wands reversed, or the Queen of Wands is the Page of Wands child, acting up. The Queen of Pentacles and King of Pentacles are both reversed here side by side, with Advisor or King of Pentacles reversed Virgo, grounding and integrating, or bored with Aquarius or Star, or being the star, or is, and bored of healing and always getting what they want, right? Maybe they're bored of, because no one ever challenges them. Everyone just gives them whatever they want. The Page of Wands reversed with the Empress reversed and Justice reversed, receiving a love offer from unstable place, or an offer to move or relocate from Cancer, High Priestess, or Pisces, or Virgo, in a heated exchange with the Sovereign, who's independent, but in need of some tools, or to lay down their cards on the table at 313, the Empress and the 13 of transition, or death. Or an offer comes in when Cancer, High Priestess, not telling their true feelings, or needing to travel to visit with kids, or, yeah. And there could be, maybe there's some feelings that aren't being expressed there that need to be expressed. And maybe that someone's not traveling to see them, or wants to travel to see them but can't, or whatever it is. Just make sure you express yourself properly to make sure the other person knows that you love them. 315 is the Empress and the Devil. Or alone for Thanksgiving, right? So you may not be connecting with anyone for Thanksgiving, or kids can't come home for Thanksgiving, and that kind of call stuff may be coming up. Make sure that you tell them that you love them. The recent past here is the 7 of Cups and the Stairway to Heaven, taking steps and synchronicities, uninspired when it's cold out, the Page of Pentacles reversed in need of help, tempted by the Devil's wave, the Queen of Wands reversed, unstable, letting go to fix things or make amends, perhaps with the Divine Feminine, Pisces, or a neighbor, or neighborhood, or world at large, recovering or patching things up after failure, or just getting failure to launch, or under the radar, needing attention from the 10 of Cups reversed, unhappy family who's reaping rewards of not having to come together, or as third party, or drinking too much, and the foundation being the 6 of Wands reversed, the prisoner who's freed. And this could be someone who doesn't want to go to Thanksgiving because they don't want to do with the family. Or the Page of Wands reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed, being trapped, and the Hierophant free to do whatever they want. Aries upright, Taurus upright here, and perhaps the King of Pentacles reversed is trapped, and the Page of Wands reversed is free and bragging or putting it in their face, flaunting it in front of them. The central energy here is the Ace of Wands reversed. The Queen of Cups in need of attention and passion with their flame. At night, perhaps satisfied with self and clarity, but sometimes a little off balance in getting new information. Or Capricorn child and or the devilish Capricorn, Queen of Wands reversed, paying a visit to repair something with Pisces and or Cancer upright, but they're actually good. Maybe they don't need your help. The challenge being the lovers without peace at work or school, or just not inspired to come together. Perhaps they didn't sleep well. The King of Wands here with the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the King of Cups reversed is wide awake. Maybe wide awake to why they're reversed here. King of Wands is upright. Queen of Pentacles and King of Cups are both reversed. So wide awake about the situation, and the King of Wands looking back at the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Cups, not looking forward to an appointment or meeting at work, school, or office. Perhaps a sister or suffering in silence or stressed out about a face-to-face meeting with the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords both reversed. Perhaps these are children who messed up, or adults acting like children who dropped the ball or got in trouble. The Divine Feminine or Pisces, or the world, suffering in silence or dealing with stress, or a sister as the bulls split, getting along okay as long as the red flags are kept above their heads. One bull is thinking about Divine Feminine or Pisces, and the other is behind closed doors without peace. The patient angel off path or of higher love, uncomfortable after an explosion or sudden event, epiphany or sexual exchange, perhaps about the Six of Cups reversed falling out in the past, and the Emperor in need of help or an invitation, or with a child who's in need of that. The Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community of dysfunction or dumping a load, burden, or all of their responsibilities and quit, rather be out in the cold than in there with him. The now moment here is the Ten of Wands reversed, and reverting to the wounded warrior status, grounding and integrating, being bored of stardom, healing, dreaming, or dependent child or partner, keeping their cards close, or hoarding, unable to find a way out of overindulging, or with a third party destined to heated exchanges at 338, which is the Christ energy with the Mary Magdalene energy, 338. Getting over it, the Queen of Cups upright after a falling out with independent, or to be independent, at 340 is the Empress and the Page of Cups. Patient, off the beaten path with sudden events, epiphany. I was just getting saintly energies as well. Saint Epiphany? I don't know. Saint something with the epiph type of energy. And sexual exchange. Sharing bliss or settling out now that the worst is over. Playing hardball or saving for a new life or to travel. And cleaning up their act or getting over loss, regret, or the lies of a split, and the Page of Swords stepping it up, and the Knight of Wands now motivated as opposed to getting into trouble. The Queen of Cups is in love at present with romantic tie and gifts ending conflicts regarding withholding or owing money or saving to get their wish. Soon coming up here is the Ace of Pentacles reversed with a false start perhaps, awake and tried but failed, back on the horse as the Knight of Cups with Dark Knight, or 1 minute they're alert and awake and the next minute they fell over and croaked perhaps. And that could be anything. I mean, that could be your fish, since I said croaked. But it could be someone who just dies suddenly. But remember that that's probably the best way for someone to pass, right? Because they don't feel any pain. And that might be an aneurysm of some kind. An offer of condolences, or the Knight of Cups Scorpio facing the enemy or fears, or the harsh truth, or making peace with the other side, resting or laying to rest, getting over the guilt and shame at night, or over cancer, or shedding some light, but unclear. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Seven of Pentacles, or the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower. Ending conflicts at work, school, hospital, office, or the architect's office, or perhaps a mother who passed, or is not doing well, or conflicts with a mean woman, or someone who's refusing to do anything for herself. The Page of Cups upright with Pisces or Virgo, or child with a sitter or secret keeper. About synchronicities and choices and confusion. In an unhappy family or unsure they have enough to take care of or defend themselves to the Empress reverse. Engagement comes up here, and getting to know each other, and soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Taurus reversed and Pisces or Virgo here. And around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Hanging Man reversed or awake. Healing with help from Hermit, Professor, or Virgo. In awakening, and then to overwork or to help them see what's not working, with the Emperor always standing over them or sitting on projects. And again, this is an energy of being controlled by someone. The challenge being, or the block here for the twins, is that it's the twin flames reversed, and the injustice of no options at the present, or unable to implement a new path at the moment. Parenting, and even more so, is completion. And again, parenting card comes up as, that your children are affecting your love life. And then even more so is completion and moderation and relationship change. So we have a narcissistic Hierophant energy, or the old man, who's not very nice, and Taurus unable to express feelings or surrendering to all that is. We kids, pets, or Leo around or fully exposed an offer of love or happiness that comes out of nowhere or out of left field. Perhaps a Hierophant and Page of Cups trying to make peace with the Emperor, Page of Pentacles reversed. So that can be them and their inner children, or them and their child. So here we have the Hierophant and the Emperor coming together. Both the adults are coming up upright, but the children are both reversed. So it can be one person, or the Emperor and Hierophant with their children. Them and their kids, that can be pets too, like if their dogs had a run-in with each other. Taurus versus Aries or Capricorn or Leo with dysfunction or dysfunctional family issues at Thanksgiving. And this could be in planning for Thanksgiving. Breaking patterns or no longer leaving it up to the universe, hoping she gets the message in a roundabout way. Time to get going to offer love to their sunshine at 4:10 a.m., which is the Emperor, and a turn for the better. The King of Cups reversed connected to the Queen of Cups under the radar, or failing to bring good news to the Divine Feminine's heart that he's awake and taking steps, but frustrated and uninspired and challenged by their lover or affections, wanting new passion and a new life, but unable to implement with their twin right now, or confess, no longer juggling options or ignoring them. The Queen of Cups on the stairway to heaven, to the Ten of Pentacles family, business, community, or legacy, in need of passionate attention without burdens, challenged by lovers, and the Divine Feminine's heart withholding time, money, and effort until he sees the light, that there is no other option, and drops the facade or act, removes the mask, and stops ignoring them, that she's no second prize, and he's either in or out. With love, there's no doubt, and she's going to live her best life with or without. If he wants to live a lie and pretend he's not hurting anyone, it's like her saying, then that's his issue. She's going to keep following her North Star. And then saying, seriously, at 4:21, which is the Emperor and the 21 of the world. Yes, let's pull a few cards, see what else comes up. There's definitely energy too from another little message that I had done regarding, like, parents have had enough of, either it's with children, like they're too old for this kind of energy, you're too old for this, they're too old for this, of not willing to put up with anyone's crap anymore, right? You don't have to put up with crap. You should only be surrounding yourself with people who resonate with you, who want the highest good for you, and allow you to make your own choices. All right, so let's see what comes up from the Animal Spirit Guidebook. Take a deep breath. All right, what is our takeaway from the read today? Oop, there we go. We have the elephant, very auspicious. The elephant with a flame in their trunk, and perhaps with a target on them, a laser target, right? Wanting to take them down, because they're so powerful. Like with each step that they take, they clear the way. And there we have the vulture just waiting for the cleanup duty, cleaning up the duty. This could literally be the cleanup crew who has to do the diapers. So we then have the spider web, which can be the grid activated with the rainbow collective, right? As above, so below. So reflecting the earth collective awakening in the rainbow energies. Now the grid is fully activated. And there is the firefly with fleeting inspiration. And this is like Nat coming to me again, right? And then we have, oh, wait a minute, there's a couple more cards that want to be seen. I'll put this down so I can show you. So this is the Crown Chakra. And this is very much about the opposite view of the circle with the snake around it, right? Because that's top down. This is from the side. It's the same picture, though. The egg is the collective awakening, and then the Kundalini rising of dark night of the soul, and then everyone who's already risen taking care of the ones who are awakening now, the collective. So again, here is that, Tinkerbell or Cupid or my little gnat with fleeting inspiration, right? Unforgettable, that's what you are. So that's coming in to whisper into the collective awakening's ears to help them along, right? The energy of the auspicious elephant and the cleanup crew, the vulture, like they're just waiting and ready to help, ready to come in. And here's the oh, we missed a card. Someone's hiding. Oh, it's the spider, the snake. Okay. The spider and the snake over here. So again, we talk about the grid here, but what was the spider's hiding, right? Because when the grid is activated, all of a sudden you don't really see them all that well. They become insignificant because you notice all the colors. But remember that it's the spider's domain. The Black Widow came up the other day. Because in this deck, the regular spider comes up and there's a tarantula card too, but not a Black Widow. But the Black Widow came up the other day. Because I literally had a Black Widow in my bathtub when I was in college. I speak of Arizona, because that was Arizona too. So the Black Widow is coming up there. And that can be very much the energy of the vulture as well. They're just kind of laying in wait, ready for the leftovers. And this could be a Thanksgiving. Somebody just wants to come to Thanksgiving for the leftovers. But there's the energy of the Black Widow here too, right? So this could be a widower or a widow. And they're the one doing Thanksgiving, right? Come into my lair. The spider's web, the lion's den, it's all coming up as the same, right? It's their territory. That way they get to have control over the leftovers. That's so funny. And then we have the fleeting energy again of the firefly. They don't last long, but they do burn bright when they come in, like my little gnat, reminding us unforgettable. To as the crown opens and the whole awakening the whole collective is awakening. And this should be a very interesting Thanksgiving, is what I'm hearing here. Right after this, after the cosmic egg, is then the tiger. So there's that Bengal tiger who burst through the ring of fire, coming out the other end, purified, because they're white, they're no longer orange. And then there's the eagle, then comes in. It's like the domino effect. As the collective awakens, the tiger's eye wakes up with their eye on the prize, causing the eagle then to drop down like the dominoes and hit something else, right? Because they're a trigger. They're there to trigger someone to wake up. And then coming into the dragon's eye. This is very powerful energy right here between the tiger, the eagle, and the dragon. And this is the crown. This is huge right here. This is the domino effect. And I was getting the rippling effect of the 4 moons after the eclipse last night, or this week as well. So this is the domino effect that's happening as the collective awakens, and the starseeds stand guard. The white Bengal tiger, that's the purification. That was the white. The purification was the white Kachina. Kachina. Right, because we have the blue indigos and the white purifiers. And that's the tiger coming in. Yeah, so I'm getting like this is the blue rays waking up, right? The big wave of twins. And then here is like the children who are going to be really powerful, right? The purifiers. It's interesting too. My dad came up as the tiger, and I told you he came back in my nephew's child. So it should be interesting. I haven't met my nephew's child yet. As the eagle's coming in for a landing into the dragon's eye. And look, also talking about the dragon's eye, because that's how Nat came up when I laughed, because Nat sees me as the dragon because I'm so big compared to the Nat. And here's a Nat over there helping me out with the collective here. So personally, I'm getting, because I know the tiger came up for my dad before, and Nat was bringing me up as the dragon, but I'm getting like the eagle connection is the connection, my nephew, because he'd be the connection between me and my dad. Very interesting. Anyway, just saying, this is a really super powerful domino effect combination, right? So the initial trigger is the little Nat, waking something up in the collective. It gets to the tiger, that gets to the eagle, which then, does his job and triggers the next, lights a fire under their butt, to open up their eyes to the truth. Really powerful there. The bottom of the deck there's the tarantula. I brought that up. The black widow is coming up, and the tarantula. So all the spider's webs coming up here because of Thanksgiving. Like, whose den are you going to be in? Whose crocodile den are you going to be in? Laying in wait, the vulture, for the leftovers, right? The person hosts Thanksgiving who wants the leftovers, or who's going to make sure they place their dibs on the leftovers. That's pretty funny. Oh, the webs we weave. So again, are you going to be able to stay in your non-3D energy while dealing with a bunch of 3D energy at Thanksgiving? So, and remain present, right? To just being who you are and being authentic and not saying things just to pacify or please other people, but just be authentically who you are. Let's see what the journey of love has for us here. I'm still thinking unforgettable. Unforgettable, that's what you are. It's bringing up my second cousin, who I rarely see, but I think that's he had said he's an actor, and I think that's, I had heard him sing that, and he has a really nice voice. So some of your, like, perhaps cousins that you were close to growing up may pop into your life, or perhaps old loves, maybe your first love, your first passion may pop into your life to clear those energies. All right, from the journey of love, those slid right out. And there's two of them. So we have the pairs again. Self-initiation, which came up big time yesterday. Initiation, initiation, initiation. 12 is the hanging man, being wise, seeing new perspectives, and the 65 of the King of Pentacles, and the breaking in of him, or the breaking out. 53 is the Knight of Swords, the legacy of light, and there's the Christ energy. I always see this as him like holding a sleeping bag over here, and then somebody who's not doing well over here that they're taking care of. The bottom of the deck is Seat of the Heart with the question mark. 3 lines down and a question mark. How cool is that? And then we have this card also wanted to be seen, the Blood Dance. So there's the energy of the heart, the heartbeat, the two as one coming together in the heart. Self-initiation of the hanging man or the hanging woman, you see here, in the center of the vortex, going through the cyclone into the vortex, initiating that herself, and then coming crashing into the divine masculine and the breaking of the King of Pentacles here in the crash. the Knight of Wands, legacy of life, into the Christed light, and the blood dance of two hearts that beat as one. Really beautiful energies. And I love the seed of the heart being the question mark. Going on a treasure hunt. X marks the spot. All right, so there we go. Going on a treasure hunt for what to do for Thanksgiving, whose house for Thanksgiving, or somebody could be going out. That the X gets to mark the spot because they want to do Thanksgiving together for the children. 3 lines down, perhaps 3 places had really long lines so they can't get in. And a question mark, now what? With a pinch and a squeeze and a tropical breeze. Bloody Marys, Bloody Marys. Gotcha. So you have to let me know how that one works out. I'm not sure what the question mark still is referring to, like what to do when you can't find any options, or are you going to stay present, or are you going to get triggered into 3D old ways, right? When you're hungry and you're getting impatient because you're really hungry. That's interesting. All right, so the first card out is the Elephant, which I'm definitely going to read for you, and then Initiation, because that seems to be important. And you see also it is the card of the deck. Okay, so the Elephant. Elephant is under fire. Unstoppable, auspicious, and wise. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents immense wisdom as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles, so if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path will soon become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. So we have the eagle coming down to trigger us, light a fire under our butt, and we have the elephant, again, to put obstacles in our path so we won't go down the wrong path. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with the light of self-knowledge. When they're in balance, they're one pointed focus, generous and loving. But when they're out of balance, they misunderstand their fate. To bring back into balance, trust. It's all a test of faith. All right, so for self-initiation, which is number 12, and wisdom, and I open right up to gifts received, which is 13. Self-initiation, you are being touched by the wave of your own light in motion. Can you feel the blessings and love that are flowing towards you from within you in an upsurging wave of love? There's the question mark. This is your own pure divine nature. You can choose to empower another as the carrier of your own divinity, of course. And sometimes if you're not quite ready to recognize your own divine essence, this needs to be, right? So when you're first starting out, you have to follow other people. Yet at any moment, you can choose to recognize that it is you who are initiating yourself into love, that you are being of light, the divine, that is drawing you forward into yourself. At any moment, you can choose to recognize yourself. Will this be such a moment? My neighbor is blasting their music in their car right now. This oracle holds a message for you. There are many teachers on this path, some humble, some wise, some great companions on your life journey, and some who will enter in and out of your life quickly, perhaps imparting a helpful word or teaching you a more challenging lesson about trusting and relying upon your own wisdom. The greatest teacher, however, is life itself. You can trust in your own experiences and know that it is the divine spark within you, the life within you, that is the one true teacher who carries you home in awakened reunion with the divine. And it simply states how easy to love. The words flow when it's right. I dare not tell you. So very beautiful. Trust yourself. Make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature. Be good to yourselves and rise and be loved. Bye.